Danny, how does engagement play into your success in maintaining a sense of community in Dixon?
So I think that the engagement and the community trust, right, that we're building and the brand of our community is what legitimizes everything it is that we do. We have the authority that we have to be able to do certain things for the citizens because that's been given to us essentially by the citizens, right? And so if we don't have that, we're really not a legitimate form of government. It's incredibly important. We've got to understand, and I love Petunia talking about all the touch points and the little things matter, right? The little things are what matter the most. And we've got to be very proactive in our communication. We live here, right? We can anticipate what's happening. We can anticipate the questions people have, and we need to proactively communicate. And when we do that, and especially if there's change, we've got to start with why. We've got to explain that reason. And if we do things and we shape and frame things in the right way, then we don't have the big issues in the big problems. We've got to understand now, and it's very evident, that as a society, we're just so much more unstable, right? There's very low levels of psychological safety. Our lives have been turned upside down. There's tons of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. So by us stepping up, right, and taking that lead and demonstrating leadership during these times, that begins in being the trusted source of information, proactively communicating, answering questions as they come up, being proactive in that starts to take away uncertainty. That starts to take away doubt, right? That starts to diminish fear when they see their leaders, everybody working together and messaging together. The other thing that's important about it, because this has happened to us, right? We're not perfect. And I think, being willing to step up and say, hey, we made a mistake here, right? This wasn't our intention. We made this mistake. We're making it right. The importance about telling our story and doing this often and getting out in front of it is because when we make deposits as government, those deposits are small and they're short lasting. But when we make a withdrawal, it's huge. And so we've got to make sure there's a lot of deposits in our account because the withdrawals are always bigger than the deposits. And when we start thinking about it in that way, we can become very intentional, and we care about our people. We're concerned about them. We're concerned about our businesses and the fact that we do care and our community knows that we have their back and everybody is working together. It really legitimizes the government. I would caution people not to get discouraged by some of the negativity that comes on the posts because there's going to be negativity. Michael talked about that earlier, but if you look at our posts and maybe you see 50 negative messages out of 200, of those 50 negative messages, they've come from 4 people. If 50 negative messages have come from 50 people, then we need to really ask ourselves some deeper questions, right? But we need to stay positive. And the one thing that you love is a lot of the positive people hit the like button, maybe say good job, but they don't say a lot because they don't want to be the ones that are attacked by the vultures inside of social media. But there was a time over the summer where some things happened and some statements were taken the wrong way that we put something out and just a narrative. And it was kind of long. Like, will people read this? And there were 300 plus positive comments about how much our community appreciated the leadership and the teamwork and the information. So we don't always hear it. And as leaders, we shouldn't expect it, but we've got to know and trust when we're doing the right things, it's making that difference. And it legitimizes the government and our service to our community.
Sounds like you got just a great culture going, and I'm sure that it's related to the strategic and proactive leadership that you're sharing. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.